Welcome back to another keyboard review, where today I'm thrilled to dive into a keyboard that's turning heads for all the right reasons. The KiiBoom Loop65. With its eye-catching design and premium build, this keyboard is vying for the title of most unique looking keyboard out there. But the real question is, does its performance live up to its $160 price tag? Stick around as we dig deep into what this keyboard has to offer and whether it truly stands out in a crowded market. Before we begin, I want to point out that KiiBoom did provide this product free of charge for the purpose of this review. However, rest assured, all opinions you'll hear today are completely my own and unbiased. Let's cover the unboxing experience before we progress any further. The packaging is thoughtfully designed and consistent with KiiBoom's signature style, featuring a top cover that lifts off from the bottom. Inside, everything is protected by this rigid plastic, and then you're greeted by a comprehensive user manual, followed by the Loop65 itself wrapped in a layer of protective plastic, which I removed prior to this recording, as well as a plastic dust cover. In the accessories section, you get a bag containing a USB-A to USB-C cable, followed by a dual keycap and switch puller, and finally a little Allen key to get inside the keyboard. I was surprised to find no additional switches or keycaps in the box. However, the overall unboxing experience ranks among the best I've encountered for keyboards. Okay, I'm going to quickly go over some of the main specs and features before getting into my own thoughts and opinions. The Loop65 comes in at $159.99 on KiiBoom.com. The keyboard features a 65% layout with 66 keys and a knob. It's got tri-mode connectivity, meaning you can connect via Bluetooth, 2.4 GHz wireless, or wired USB-C. It comes equipped with a 4000 mAh battery, and the Loop65 is equipped with QMK and VIA compatibility. With the main specs and features out of the way, let's start by discussing the design and aesthetics. Right off the bat, I have to say I am a fan of the unique two-tone modular looking design of this keyboard. It exudes a sleek professional vibe with a subtle left to right keycap gradient that complements the case's color transition. It's got a non-exploded 65% layout, so super compact for those of you who like a smaller keyboard. Visually, it mirrors the popular GMK67 layout, with one notable difference. The navigation cluster features a home key instead of a delete key, which is a significant drawback for me personally. In terms of feel, the Loop65 stands out with its full aluminium construction, giving it a premium heft that matches its striking appearance. The CNC machined aluminium finish is incredibly smooth and feels pleasantly refined to the touch. It also carries a notable weight for its size, thanks to that sturdy aluminium construction. Given it is a metal construction, you may expect the typing experience to feel stiff or rigid, but thanks to the gasket mount, it actually offers a pleasantly bouncy feel. Flipping the board over, I'm going to quickly go over some of the physical features on the case. The underside is kept extremely minimal, featuring 10 screws for disassembly, more than the usual 8 found in other keyboards, which I assume is due to the modular design. Aside from that, the underside features small but surprisingly sticky rubber pads in each corner to ensure a secure grip on your desk. Like most metal keyboards, the Loop65 does not come with height adjustable feet. If customizing your typing angle is important to you, you might want to consider this. I want to highlight the minimal design approach here once again. Unlike most keyboards, which often feature stickers with branding and irrelevant information, it's refreshing to see that the Loop65 keeps things clean and simple underneath. The two-tone design continues into the edges with these modular pieces on either edge. I'll showcase more about this during the teardown. The connectivity zone is situated on the back edge off to the left, where you'll find the 2.4 GHz wireless receiver sunk into the case, magnetically for added quality of life. You then get an unlabeled dual toggle switch that basically acts as an on-off switch for the wireless modes. Finally, the USB-C port. Moving back up onto the surface of the keyboard, yeah, it's nice and minimal up here. Again, this layout will be familiar if you've used the popular GMK67. The two-tone theme carries through to the top case, and after spending some time with this keyboard, I have to say it's really growing on me. In the top right, you get a neat looking metal knob, but unfortunately it only has a single function, being media control. It wouldn't be uncommon to find a multi-function knob in keyboards of a lower tier, so I was a bit disappointed to see that that wasn't included here. There's not really much else going on up here, so let's move on to those keycaps. They're diced sub PBT in the cherry profile with a professional look in center-aligned legends. Gradient keycap sets have gained popularity recently, but most follow a top-to-bottom gradient design. The Loop stands out with a unique horizontal gradient, which adds a distinctive flair to an already striking keyboard design. Moving down a layer deeper, the Loop is equipped with KiiBoom's own Matcha Latte V2 switches. These 5-pin factory lube linear switches have an operating force around 45 grams, placing them in the mid to light force range, ideal for a balanced typing experience. Made up of both the polycarbonate top and bottom housing with an LY stem and RGB diffuser, they're a super nice looking switch. In terms of how they feel to type on, they're definitely nice and light, so I didn't experience any sort of fatigue. The switches have a unique combination of both smoothness and a chalky, scratchy sound profile, which adds an interesting texture to the typing experience. I really like it. As I say in most of my keyboard reviews, I wouldn't personally be brave enough to bring this keyboard into the office because it's not exactly quiet. For home use though, it's perfect, with its poppy sound profile. The stabilizers being plate mounted performed excellently. I didn't encounter any rattling or pinging noises, which really enhanced the overall typing experience. Overall, I was super happy with the typing experience on the Loop. Now, I know a lot of you will be extremely happy to find out that this keyboard is actually fully compatible with both QMK and VIA. If you're not familiar with QMK or VIA, it essentially means you can skip downloading any sketchy software drivers. Instead, you can use a trusted open source tool directly from your browser with a clean and user-friendly interface, unlike many proprietary software drivers out there. With VIA, you can remap your keys across up to 9 layers, set up macro configurations, and fine-tune your backlighting settings, all with an intuitive intuitive interface that's easy to navigate. I'll have a link in the description to the JSON file that you'll need to upload onto the VIA software. Covering off some more features, the Loop65 is equipped with a 4000 mAh battery. While I don't have exact usage ratings on hand, from my experience, a 4000 mAh capacity typically offers a solid amount of usage time, making it a reliable option for most users. The length of time before you need to reach for a cable most heavily depends on whether or not you're using the RGB backlight. Let's talk about that. The Loop comes equipped with a vibrant RGB backlight with several preset modes you can cycle between through the keyboard shortcuts, or through the VIA program as I mentioned earlier. I would definitely say that on max brightness, the backlight on this keyboard is one of the better ones I've seen, so if that's your thing, you won't be disappointed. Okay, I want to cover off some features now that might make this keyboard a worthy contender for gaming. It's got N key rollover, which essentially allows the keyboard to register several keystrokes simultaneously in the correct sequence in which they were pressed. That might sound confusing, but this is a must-have feature for gaming in my opinion. The board also features a 1000 Hz polling rate, or 1 millisecond response time, but do note this is only in wired mode. It gets significantly slower in wireless modes. Okay, I'm going to perform a teardown to showcase the internal structure of the keyboard. First things first, you'll need to remove the 10 screws on the underside of the case, and the modular case design will become apparent with it splitting into several pieces. These side pieces have great potential for customization. I could easily see a third party or even KiiBoom themselves offering alternate accent pieces to add another layer of personalization to your keyboard. Next, you'll need to remove both the battery and daughterboard connectors, which then further showcases the modular construction of this keyboard. From there, you're left with the internal sandwich where you're getting a flex cut F44 plate with plate mounted stabilizers, and the spacebar also has silicon sound dampeners. You can also see these little silicone sock gaskets, which are responsible for the nice cushion typing experience you get with the Loop. Next, you're getting a few layers of foams and films in the form of a pour-on foam layer with a PET film on the back, followed by a sound isolation pad. You then get a flex cut 5-pin hot swappable PCB with south-facing RGB LEDs. Unfortunately, there's no support for screw-in stabilizers here. Finally, you get this dual foam and film layer. Overall, the internal structure of the Loop is impressively sophisticated. However, for a keyboard in this price range, it would have been great to see the option for plate-mounted stabilizers. Okay, as always, it's time to play the sound test before I leave you with my closing remarks and recommendations. The Loop65 is undeniably a standout keyboard with its striking two-tone design and full aluminium construction, giving it a premium feel both visually and physically. The build quality is impressive, and the inclusion of QMK and VIA compatibility offers extensive customization options, making it a versatile keyboard for both casual and power users. However, at a $160 price point, there are a few considerations to keep in mind. The decision to replace the delete key with a home key in the navigation cluster is a design choice that may not suit everybody, especially for those who rely on the delete key regularly. I know you could remap the delete key, but it's still not just ideal with the keycaps still having incorrect labels. Additionally, the single function knob, while aesthetically pleasing, may leave some users desiring more versatility with its functionality. That said, if you're looking for a keyboard that combines aesthetic appeal with a solid performance, the Loop65 is a compelling choice. The unique design elements and robust build make it a great addition to any setup. However, considering its price, it would be wise to compare it to other options in the market to ensure it aligns with your specific needs and preferences. That concludes this review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, consider dropping a like and subscribing because your support is greatly appreciated.